when you showed up at the house, I'll never forget. You knocked on the door, and you just had this look in your eye, and it was just a powerful life moment. And like I could tell by looking at you that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, but what is the catalyst for that? Like, what triggered you to be like, this is good. I'm gonna fucking rock and roll?
This was spring of '92, and John Taylor and I worked together. We were co-workers at this point, delivering pizzas of all things. And I finally, I knew he was a singer because he'd been in bands with, he actually was in a band with David before, and so I just approached him. I always loved his voice, so I approached him one day and I said, I told him what's going on, that I've been working on these songs, that I feel like I was ready to kind of take the next step, and put a band together. And I thought his voice would complement these songs really well. And he right away didn't even bat an eye. He just said, "I'd love to. Let's do it." And that pumped me up. I still remember that day so much because it was one of those sort of life affirming days. Sort of like this, is what I'm supposed to be doing right now, in my life. And so the next step after getting John on board, to me, was a no-brainer to talk to David about playing drums because he and I had been in a band together several years before, like 5 years before that. He and I had been in a band together, but there was nobody else, honestly, that I wanted to drum with, that I wanted to drum in this band. And so I don't remember if it was that night or very or shortly afterwards. I went over to his house and knocked on the door, and he came to the door, and I just dumped it on him. I said, "I talked to John, and we want to put a band together." And I said, "I've got these songs, and let's see what we can do." And right away he was on board too. And the next thing you know, Medicine Show's born.